だけど頼りないつさでもきっと飛べるさ
Hello everyone, and welcome to special episode 26 of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
And this time we watched... Also Gatchmon. And this time we watched Digimon Adventure Tri, Chapter 2, Determination, the English dub.
Yep.
Yeah. So, first of all, before we start, I would like to say thank you so much to PenguinMage for giving us your digital copy, because otherwise we would have to wait for the Australian release, which there is no date for. So, and me being the pessimistic self, except for when it comes to watching Atmon apparently, is that I don't think we'll be getting that this year. It's coming out in November in England, so I think that we'll be getting it December or January, and that's just my... I mean, it's not the date. We don't know the date, but the fact that Madman don't have a date is just kind of like... I don't know, I'm pessimistic when it comes to that.
How very, very sad for you.
So thank you for letting us have your digital copy, because that means we could both watch it legally, because I wasn't prepared to pirate it. I don't know, I felt like at the very least, like the worst case scenario was I wait, but it's nice that we get to cover it, you know, as soon as we possibly can and don't have to wait until it's released here. And when it does get a release here to celebrate, I'll probably try and coerce my mother to be on again, because apparently people really liked when my mum was on.
Conversely, how dare you do this to me?
What?
Make me watch this by sending us the copy.
Yeah, that too. Like
It's upsetting and I hate you.
I had to buy dinner to get Jay for him to record this with me, because like, hey, how do you feel like recording on a Wednesday night when we both have work and we have to get up like at early in the morning, so Jay doesn't get to work late again.
Watch Digimon more than I...
So yeah, we'll probably cover it once it has an official release in Australia again, but Jay won't, because Jay will die.
What do I have to do?
You don't have to do anything.
Awesome.
I'm just saying I will cover it with my mum when it comes out in Australia, because I think my mum would be interested to see Mimi, because Mimi's great in this movie. Mimi's the best. So I have a lot of notes comparing the English version with the Japanese version, and in preparation for this podcast, in a few scenes I actually watched the Japanese version again just to clarify what was happening in both versions. So yeah, please enjoy this episode. I put too much time into my notes.
I'm not going to enjoy this episode though.
Jay, would you like to tell the listeners how long your notes are?
0 inches long.
Yes, he has.
That's how long my notes are.
He has no notes.
Newspaper. Because I'm not going to take notes again. Why would I?
But it's okay, because my notes will be up and available for Patreon supporters, so I didn't have to suffer just writing all my notes and just saying, I'm going to put too much thought into this, even though I'm really tired and I have to go to work tomorrow morning and I have to wake up at 6:30. Alright, so on to the show. Start off, we'll just talk about our movie thoughts in general. I'll just give a short rundown on synopsis. Obviously, this is a spoiler-filled episode, because we're going over the episode. So if you haven't watched Chapter 2 2 yet, watch it and then listen to this.
Spoiler number 1. They don't show you the spa the whole day, because that'd be really dumb, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be stupid if they just followed the kids around as they hung out at a spa?
Yeah.
That'd be dumb.
Well,
good thing we cut straight to the bus home.
No, we don't. So to welcome Meiko to the group, they take her to an onsen, and we have Slice of Life. But it's also, as well as welcoming Meiko, it's also to try and reconcile Matt and Tai, who are fighting. Joe can't come because it's a Digimon movie, and that's what we've established, and I'm honestly surprised that Hikari's not at a party.
Or that Mimi is there.
Or that Mimi's not in America. She's actually here. Okamon appears later on after the trip. I'm just doing a quick rundown.
Wow, we're blasting through
I told you, it's a quick synopsis.
Wow.
It's just in case people don't want to watch and have already seen this movie but don't want to watch it again.
Look, fair enough.
So yeah, after the trip, Okamon appears, and Mimi and Meiko try to fight him because they're working out the design of their outfit for the Data's Cafe.
Data's, which is, it's Hooters. It's straight up.
And so they tell everyone, but then Mimi says, hey,
Meme.
look, we should fight this and then show everyone that Digimon are good, because there are lots of news crews and that's what we should do. But she ends up bringing down a helicopter because Togemon is a giant cactus, and despite punching and doing quite well punching, she decides to make it do needle spray.
You mean that move that's never beaten anybody ever?
I feel like it should, but I don't remember it actually in any circumstance winning, and that's really upsetting, because you'd think that this would be the winning move for her. Fire needles. I mean, she beat the helicopter.
You're right. In the fight of cactus versus helicopter, the cactus always wins.
Yeah, I mean, she brought it down to the water. I mean, she didn't take any life. She didn't take the news reporter's life, but we don't know about the driver of the helicopter.
Probably dead.
The camera probably wasn't too happy.
And that Channel 5 lost a helicopter. Take that, Karen. God, the abridged was so much better than the English. And the problem is that, like, the voice of, like, Mimi and stuff, to me, I really feel like I kept waiting for it to jump into abridgedness.
Yeah, though, there is a line, and I guess I'll just say it now. What's up, Izzy? Did that Nigerian prince write you back? That felt like an abridged line.
That is that one, and there's like, Leomon's sitting there in the chair, and they're like, "Hey, Leomon, what do you think? Nothing? Just gonna sit there being intimidating? Okay."
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't feel real. That feels like an abridged line.
Well, to be fair, isn't an English dub just a very, like, high-budget abridged series?
No, because A, it's not abridged. And second of all, no.
No,
because
you're right.
one of the key elements nowadays of an abridged series is like, not rectifying, sort of coming to terms with all the weird stuff in the show and, like, justifying it or cutting it out or making changes. And if anything, the English version of most anime makes it more confusing because the people translating it make mistakes, such as the one you pointed out on our Facebook, where Tai says, "Hey sis, what are you doing here?" And she's not there.
Yeah, she's actually off being with TK.
But you can tell why they made the mistake, because the next second you see her, because it cuts away to a different room.
That's not even the mistake I'm mad about, but we'll get to that. We're just quickly synopsising. So Izzy has put all the Digimon in a quarantine at his office, and then he also yells at Mimi, and it's quite emotional because he's just sort of saying, "Look, you don't think of anyone but yourself," and she runs off, and Sora tries to make her feel better, but she's really upset.
What was this? Did they use a specific word in Japanese? I feel like they obsessed over something.
We'll talk about that when we're talking about
tsundere?
when we talk about the actual thing. No, that's where they're classmates. We'll talk about that later.
Right.
We'll talk about when the differences part. So the school is preparing for a school festival, and then she gets called selfish. So I'll just say it now. Jikotsu was what you're thinking about, and it's someone who only thinks of herself and doesn't think about what's best for others. For example, me when it comes to the podcast. Hey Jay, we're recording now. Oh, what? Are we? Okay. And in the dub, it's you're a narcissist, which I guess is that's a fine change. But as I said, we'll get to the main bits of the changes in a bit. I just want to talk about the quick synopsis. So Meiko is actually pretty happy with all this stuff. Like, she said that it's out of her comfort zone. She wouldn't have stepped out otherwise.
Because she's hanging out with her best girlfriend. Yeah,
but Mimi's really upset, so she kind of just storms off. Joe and Mimi see each other, and then they both talk about how they're sad, and it starts raining. It's actually a really sad moment. But then Mimi sees Meiko, and Meiko says, "Look, this is great. I would have never done this. You are amazing." And then she's just really nice to Mimi, and Mimi hugs her, and then she says, "We're going to do it anyway," because Meiko's wearing the outfit, and she looks really great, and it's so cute. And then we find out that Goemon's run away from home. Izzy wants to see Mimi not wearing much clothes, and Goemon's with him now. And also
Leomon. A tribute
Leomon.
from a worthy ally.
You just like the abridged version
It
better.
was really strong. It made Digimon kind of enjoyable. Are we going to talk about Davis and the others? No? All right, they're dead? All right, they're dead. Got it.
So then with Izzy gone, they all decide to go to the school festival too, because Leomon takes them because he's in love with Mekumon apparently. Who? They're cats.
Have we maybe is it technically the differences?
Because... No, we'll talk about this is just synopsis. Okay. Not thoughts. No.
All right.
So Mekumon gets kidnapped by the Digimon Kaiser because Maki is mysterious and takes her away and then puts her in some grass with some flowers. Palamon and Goemon follow Mekumon into the portal with Ken, and then they fight Imperialdramon, who dabs. Joe and Mimi have relations, and their partners evolve to... No, relations.
Have relations.
I wrote it as...
Wow. Ooh.
I meant realizations, but I guess
they
maybe
have relations,
maybe they had relations.
Say.
I meant realizations.
Can I just say it now, because I will forget.
Okay, say it
Do you know what they said when they saw Ken?
It is this moment. Yes, it is weird. It is a different. It's like him again.
This guy again.
Yeah, it's what's his deal?
Like they don't know who he is.
No, it implies that like they've only ever seen him. Like the only part they've ever seen him is in the first arc of 02 and nothing else.
And only like at a glance.
Yeah, but I did write that down because it was a very subtle change, but I felt that it was weird. Anyway, so Rosemon and Vikemon are there. Then they fight. The Kaiser disappears. Mekumon evolves and kill Leomon. Maki smiles. There we are. That's what happens.
Fantastic.
So, since we're still into the overall episode bits and pieces discussion, did you notice anything the second time round watching this?
Not particularly. I don't know if what you're referring to.
Like anything that we didn't notice the first time around.
Oh, you mean like just generally?
Just generally, the things that like we didn't pick up when we first watched the movie, as opposed to when I forced you to rewatch it.
No, it was all pretty much what I remembered.
See, I noticed how funny it is to have Mimi and Joe together because they both have the crest of sincerity, sort of.
But I don't feel that. I don't feel that way as though they both have the same crest.
No, they had like similar realizations about themselves. Like there was sort of a little bit similar about how one's a coward, but he's being selfish in that regards, and Mimi is selfish in the regards that she doesn't take other people's thoughts into account. And Joe also didn't take Goemon's thoughts into account. Like he was only thinking of himself and his own issues, but was being kind of mean to Goemon, and that's why Goemon ran away.
What are their actual crests again? The Japanese ones?
Okay, Mimi has purity.
Yeah.
And Joe has sincerity.
Well, that's just what it is. They're similar. You would have realizations about yourself personally in the same way with both.
I know, but that's...
I should be myself and I should be myself. Like,
I know, and I know, I just realised that. I'm like, oh, it's nice. I think funny was the wrong word that I chose there, but I kind of like it. So I also noticed at the first part of the movie how all the girls are having sort of like hijinks. I'm like, oh no, our Digimon ran away. Let's just run into the boys' bathroom or the boys' spa. And I don't know, it really shows us how different the girls are. Like how they react to different things.
Yeah.
Mimi, Sora, Meiko, and Hikari are all very different girls and they have very different characters. And I feel like this bathhouse scene really shows it, and it's really nice.
my favorite bit was where all the Digimon are playing around. They like want to be spun around and get dizzy, and then Tailmon's just watching them like, I'm too old for this.
That's what Tailmon always does.
I know, but like it actually made a point of it, and then they all like pile on it like, yeah, it's time for you to have fun. No, I'm a cat.
No, I'm an adult.
And I hate fun.
Yeah, she's a cat and she hates fun. That'll be right. And yeah, so the girls have a big part of the movie, and despite also Joe being a main character, I feel like they didn't shaft Mimi out of the way because, oh look, a male main character.
Mailman character.
Mailman. He's the postie character. My dog hates him.
Woof woof.
Dogs hate him. Delivers mail.
He touches the fence with this one weird trick.
Another thing I noticed is that after the fight with Ogremon, Palmon is in a little bandage, and it's actually really cute, and it made me realize that we've never actually seen lasting battle damage that lasts longer than a scene in most of Digimon. Like, she's in a little bandage, and it's really cute, and she's sitting on the bed, and Mimi's sad because Izzy was just mean. And yeah, Palmon's sitting there, and she's in bandages, and she's had battle damage.
You know why that doesn't make any sense at all?
Because she evolved.
Yeah, so if you okay, for example, right? If she tore her boxing gloves, how would that be represented on Palmon?
Little cuts in her paws, I guess. Not
Would
paws,
they?
Hands.
Are the boxing gloves actually part of her hands?
I think they would be. They evolved with her. She doesn't, like, Togemon doesn't walk off, like, mid-evolution say, hang on, buds, gotta go find myself some sicker gloves, yo.
Okay, I'm trying to think of, like, there are Digimon that have bits on them when they evolve that don't even exist when they de-evolve.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to break Ikakumon's horn, Goemon doesn't have a horn.
I feel like this is an argument we've had before in Adventure.
So maybe a long time ago.
But also, you be quiet. You love when they show battle damage.
I like battle damage, yes. I don't like it when they... you can't evolve or de-evolve with it because your body totally reforms.
I know, I feel like she should still be hurt, though.
No, she should be like... it should... like, it's sore, but she wouldn't actually, like, have an injury that you could see.
Man, this would be a huge, like, issue in the Arabic dub when they're not even the same Digimon, wasn't it? Like, we found out in the last episode.
Yeah, they just call them in.
Why does Palmon have battle damage? You just
That's
called in
super
Togemon.
funny.
I think that's a really interesting change.
No, it's fascinating. And they're calling into like a central base.
Yeah.
Which means they had to invent an HQ to call in from.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is Genai an HQ guy?
Also, wait, so we're not doing Translation Moon anymore. We're just going to be doing LostinTranslationmon when we compare the Arabic dub.
I will die. I will not
We have
watching
to
Digimon
rewatch
again.
all this again.
I'm not
joking.
watching Digimon
It's
ever
okay.
again.
It's okay. Sit tight. I'm
quitting
joking.
the show right now that you've even suggested this. I'm offended.
Also, something else I didn't notice is that when Joe and Goemon have an argument during the school festival, Goemon is crying, and I didn't. And his tears were welling up in his eyes. But then the next scene is little drops hitting the ground. And it's really sad because he is such a good friend and I love him.
My best seal friend, though.
He's
Don't
a
make
good
him
seal.
sad.
No, it's really, really upsetting, and I do not remember this. And it's just, I don't know. This whole bits and pieces of
Just
this.
a figment of my imagination caused by childhood trauma, and you haven't gone away because my mind broke in the forest.
That's really sad. But stop talking about
The
the
bridge
abridged
was
series.
so much better than this.
We already covered the abridged series. It's done.
It was great.
It's done now.
Better.
Also-
Is Bridge 4 out yet? I'll watch that right now.
It just came out.
Oh, that's my
The best
I have
thing,
to wait,
so
don't I?
the best thing happened is that we see Agumon in Taichi's locker when they all find the Digimon. He puts Agumon in the locker and he's just holding the phone. And I did not realize. I feel like I would have made a point about this in our first
just
Tri
in a place.
episode. It's just really cute.
Whatever.
It's really cute. Okay.
I guess.
Also, Piamon's expression when Leomon's heart like bursts out of his chest
Go.
is just so judgmental. Like she's just got the half-lidded eyes and she's just, what are you doing? I'm hot too. I'm a bird.
Well, it's I don't know. It's especially weird when the show. And I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. The show does confirm that Meikimon's a guy.
Actually, this is a complaint that I have, and we will get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
Not the fact that Meikimon's a guy, and not the fact that Leomon is a guy and has feelings for Meikamon.
It's fine.
The fact that they can't make up their mind if Meikamon is a boy or a girl in the dub.
Have they changed?
Yes.
Really?
She gets called she.
Does when?
During the cute ugly costume, the cute ugly character contest thing.
Yeah.
Also, in chapter 1, she is called she.
Okay, so that's where that joke in the abridged comes from. Because they keep saying, like, they can't decide whether I'm a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
Does that happen in the Japanese as well?
No.
Yeah, so it must... Maybe they screwed up a bunch in the first dub as well.
I didn't notice in the first dub.
Or maybe it's in a lot of the press release stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
I know that the weirdest part about it is I feel like they have a female voice.
They do.
So what's the confusion?
I don't know.
Meiko just doesn't get it. She doesn't know.
I thought that Meikumon was a girl because Tailmon's a girl, and it's sort of like they're meant to be similarities between them. They're both cats in their adult forms.
I mean, I just thought so because of like the design and the voice.
Also that.
And also you were right, you once mentioned that like there are no mixed gender teams.
Yeah, Hawkmon and
Oh, no.
Yoli.
Was that the only one? I don't know, we had a conversation about it once.
Leomon and Juri. No, there's been no boys with girl partners.
Okay, right, fair enough.
There's been lots of girls with boy partners.
Yeah. Okay, well, besides that, I don't know, it's a weird point of confusion, and I just think everyone's going here, I'm like, not so sure about that.
So any other thoughts about the movie, not about the English version or the Japanese version, just about the movie?
It really spins its wheels for a long time, doesn't it? It really doesn't. It doesn't want to move on, get on with it. Because I remember watching it in pieces rather than as a 1.5 hour block. And watching it in pieces makes it feel a lot longer. It's one thing, but
Because
also
you're watching episodes at this point. Now we're watching a movie.
and also, but like as episodes, you're like, okay, no, we got whole episodes about the spa. Okay, it's not like they had a whole movie to set up these characters again.
Yeah. Though I kind of like the bathhouse scene.
It's got cute bits to it. It's really long. That's really long, dude. And yeah, this Ken thing, killing me. It's killing me the whole time. Someone just talk about the fact that there are other kids that you've met before.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm honestly surprised they didn't put any lines. Just quick thing in the dub whilst in my mind, because I didn't make a note about it. But it's strange that the dub didn't give lines to Imperialdramon, because in the, like, I'm about to say original, but in the dub that they did of Adventure, whenever they had a monster who was just going "Rrr, rrr," in the Japanese version, in the English dub, they would always give stupid lines to. And it was weird hearing Imperialdramon just make monster noise and Ken not make noise.
But they can't speak because they're not real, right?
Well, do we know if Imperialdramon was real or not? Because
He
we
was
know.
an illusion. He got killed and blew up into an illusion space, didn't he?
Okay, good point.
Like,
I don't know.
we saw that.
Well, we know that Ken is Jedi.
Can I?
Can I?
What a good ship. So we do know that at this stage. It's so stupid.
Yeah. So
For
like,
reals, it's beginning to go off rails. And I know beginning, it's movie 2 and we're like 4 in. But like,
well, 5's coming out next month.
the more you think about it, the more you're just like, how are you not addressing the fact there are like 5 characters not in the screen?
Well, not 5.
It's a 4.
It's 4.
There are no other characters from 0 to.
TK and Kari,
Oh yeah.
but they're there.
It's just enough clues are there that it did happen. I'm sorry, I'm not getting over this guy again. I don't know his name, but this guy.
Well, in the Japanese version, it was him. Why?
No, but like it's different,
But
right?
I think, as I said, that there is a subtle difference between him. Why? That's shock. But him again. What's the deal?
No, this guy. Okay, because him goes, oh yeah, him. You know him.
Yeah, it's this guy.
You don't. If you know someone's name, you'd never be like, oh yeah, this guy.
As I said, it's just like the original, like 02 was just cut down to like the first like 12 episodes where Ken was I can't remember if we knew that he was Ken by then or if he was still just the Kaiser. But the first chunk of episodes where we don't know who he is and he's just the Kaiser and it was like, oh, we don't know him. He's just a bad guy. I don't know. It's just different. I don't know.
Ken bad guy. No, it's pronounced bad guy.
Unless this is just a parallel universe where they never found out that Ken was evil.
You think that's what the whole like beginning, like, oh, the idea was progenitated by the Horizon. I don't know what the weird
Demiurge.
monologue, the Demiurge, weird like monologue at the beginning of Tri. All of that was just trying to tell you, oh, by the way, none of this stuff is canon.
Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. I'm looking forward to finding out though.
We're gonna find out that like Mako is God. It's gonna be Haruhi Suzumiya all over again.
Oh my gosh.
It turns out that she was just writing fan fiction about her favorite television show, Digimon, and she was self-inserting herself as a Mary Sue.
And
that's why her favorite character Mimi fell in love with her.
And she goes to school with Takato.
Who? Oh no, yeah, right.
Yeah, Takato.
She's in the Tamers.
Yeah, she's in the Tamers universe, but she doesn't know that Digimon are actually real.
Oh god, this is a slightly more interesting. And if she was someone who had only seen the first 12 episodes of 02, this would make more sense.
Would think that the Digimon Emperor was
and
just
she
some guy.
hates Davis, and that's why he died at the start. That's
and
why
Iori,
I would write it.
And Iori and Yoli.
Yeah, cool. You can hate them.
See, I've done your thing where I call Miyako Yoli, but I call Cody Iori.
It's easier.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're the names that fit the best.
I like he's Iori.
Because Iori is a traditional little is a traditional Japanese name, so he gets it because he's a traditional little kid. Whereas like Miyako is too much that. Whereas Yoli is this annoying, almost American girl who I want to go away.
Now don't you diss my gal.
What do you mean? Her nothing personality. You just like the fact that she knows how to use a computer.
And we see it once, and it's cute.
Oh my god, she moved a big mouse.
Leave me alone.
She knows how to use sound. How to use Audacity. Amazing.
Leave me alone. I know how to use Audacity.
I know. Is that why you identify with her?
Yes.
Okay. Well, hold on. Who else? Someone's a better programmer than she. Izzy. Izzy is a better programmer than she is.
You don't know that.
We do, because she's dead and he's not.
Okay.
If she was such a good programmer, why would she be dead?
So anything else about this movie? Because I have one more thing, but it's actually something that A.R. Pulver pointed out to me. It's that in the scene where Mimi and Mako hug, because Mako's just said, hey, look, this is really great. You've encouraged me to step outside my comfort zone. Thank you. And she's happy so Mimi hugs her. There's a sign behind them. It just looks a lot like I and Eugen.
It doesn't
is this a coincidence or is this a teaser for something?
It's a complete coincidence.
Yeah.
They're generic looking people. And the Eugen one doesn't have red hair and it's not spiky enough. And the I one doesn't have blonde hair and it's too long. It's wrong, right?
I don't know. I can see it.
So I'm sorry that they have kind of similar haircuts and otherwise no identifying features.
Okay, no, I see a point.
And it had Japanese on it. Did you read it at all?
Yeah, I think it's like a fine arts club.
Ooh, amazing! That
Shut up!
Really,
Shut up!
It's not the computer club. It's not the smartphone app club.
It's not
which would have been clever because there would be no smartphone app, so you would know it's a reference.
Yeah.
It's 2005.
Yeah.
God. Also, to be fair, yeah, so Eugen and I would have been, 2 years old?
Yeah, no, good point. They would have been very young. Yeah, in 2005,
12 years
they would have
beforehand?
They would have been like 2 or 3 years old. Yeah, you're right.
Probably 11, because it's probably 2016 in Atmon.
Ash's just been born. No, it's 2017. We've had New Year's.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Astra just got born. And amazing.
We need to stop talking about Atmon during not Atmon.
We should keep talking about Tri Abridged.
Okay, we're not talking about Tri Abridged. We already covered that. It's done. It's done.
Better than this.
It's done. No, it's not. I mean,
it really was. It really was.
Okay, anyway. So, let's move on to the dub stuff, yeah? The dub review stuff?
Are we not done with that already?
No. So, disappointments, complaints about the dub.
It's the same movie, so that's it.
So, I have a pretty big disappointment.
Also, him again.
It's not that. That's not my disappointment. My disappointment...
This guy.
...is that Mimi doesn't sing I'm Gonna Wake You Up in the bathhouse. That is such a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that singing was pretty rough.
Like, she's singing a song about distractions.
I forget, was she a good singer in Japanese?
Yeah, she sang I Wish because she sang I Wish.
Okay, I just don't remember.
Oh, it's a different voice actor though.
I appreciate that they stuck with the idea she sucks at singing.
But she doesn't, because in the Shogun Gekomon episode.
No, in Japanese, so in English she sucks.
No, not in the Shogun Gekomon episode.
I thought she did.
The whole thing was she has a beautiful singing voice and was able to wake up the Big Frog King.
I thought that she failed at singing.
No, she just didn't want to because she was being spoiled and she was enjoying that. That was a good episode, sort of.
How many years? It was like 3 years ago.
That was like that. Oh my god, that was 2 years ago. Oh my god, we released that episode on August 1st, 2015. That was over 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say that was a year ago. No, that was 2 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Okay, it wasn't 3. It was 2 years and a month ago.
I have grown so old.
Hey, Sonny, I think we have to quit this podcast game before our retirement.
No, but the problem was she didn't sing I'm Gonna Wake You Up.
Yeah.
Because I Wish was replaced by I'm Gonna Wake You Up in Adventure.
Yeah. I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna sing a song. A song that's gonna wake you up and get all the Gekomon and Shogun Gekomon's gonna wake up.
Yeah, no, she sings Joe's version instead.
That'd be strong. And then you just cut to like one random. You're like, what's a Shogun Gekomon?
Okay, and now I'm going to move on to the dub difference that actually made me anger.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so in chapter 1 and chapter 2, Meiko says DanDan.
Oh, I got this one too.
Yeah,
I hate it
I'll
so
explain it.
much.
I'll explain it. So
no, I know. Yeah.
So I'll explain it to people who are listening.
You got to explain it last time.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the problem that they make a mistake. Okay, so, and then of course a character says, "Oh, don't worry, that's just Meikumon speak."
Yeah.
Then on the bus ride home, TK says, "Hey, you're from that place, right?"
Isn't it-
Yeah, I know this because my grandma's from there. She also says DanDan. She's a Meikumon?
So the whole I
I'm
guess
so
what they're
mad.
doing is in the second episode the writers worked out. Is Nimoy on this?
I don't think it's actually working. I think he's Tentomon, but I don't think he's actually working on the. He's not
we
directing
could
it.
we should get a question to him somehow, since apparently he knows who we are.
Yeah, because Apple told him.
So they figured out in the second episode that it's a dialect thing.
No, first episode.
No, they figured it out in the second one that it's from a place.
No, because in this episode, in chapter 2, Meiko says DanDan again, and then Sora says that's Meikumon speak, and Mimi says I'm gonna steal it. That was in the bathhouse. That was 10 minutes before.
I'm not saying the episodes of the movie. I mean the episode being chapter 1.
Yes. No, that in chapter 2 they say DanDan is Meikumon speak. In chapter 1 and
I
chapter
know.
2.
I'm talking. I'm getting there.
Okay, continue.
All right, they realize it, but internal consistency demands that you don't just have everyone assume that it was different all the time.
Yeah.
So in chapter 1, it was a justification. I say it because it's Meikumon speak, and the only person who said that, because they're the only person who would be an authority on it, because I guess TK wasn't around, is Meiko. In the second one, they have to have someone go, by the way, I know that you're wrong. So they correct it for the audience as well.
No, I think it was a mistake, and I feel like they just...
That's what I'm saying. It's a correction that's super awkward.
No, I feel like they left TK's... Because TK's line is exactly the same in the original. Word for word, but word from word from the Crunchyroll subtitles is that he says that my grandma's from there. She also says DanDan.
But
it's essentially word for word, and
I think it's
I think
more
it's just
believable that Meiko is a weird, awkward person who just who does that, rather than there is an actual Meikumon language that not only has her human got, but also her grandma has.
I feel like it's a mistake. I'm not gonna if.
Do you know how I know?
If this is what you do, give.
Eri
her a
doesn't say
reason.
Dewasu.
She should.
She doesn't.
Imagine if she did though.
This doesn't happen. It doesn't
She should.
exist.
Why do we keep on talking about Atmon?
Because it's better.
Stop talking about Atmon.
Except for the last episode, which was just fine.
I know, this really, really upset me. And I know you can give it a reason, but explain it. Explain it better. Make TK say, well, actually...
That's what he did.
No, he doesn't, because he says he's making a statement, not like he is being a sass or saying, well, you're wrong.
Well, it's not the Abridged series. Also, he doesn't want to be rude. They just met.
I don't know. No, it's a mistake.
You don't do that to people.
No, it upset me. So then, as we mentioned earlier, Meikumon has inconsistent pronouns throughout this movie and the last movie. Because Meiko, who would know what pronouns to use for her
you'd
partner,
hope.
says he. But when she was looking for Meikumon last chapter in chapter 1, she continually uses female pronouns, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think
later
so.
on in this, because I would have noticed it because I just said, oh, he? Okay.
Yeah, I only noticed it for the first time in this episode as well.
And I feel like it's because I believe all Digimon don't really get gendered pronouns, I think.
Well, according to Tamers.
In the Japanese version, but my Japanese, as I always say, is terrible. So take that with a grain of salt. But I don't know, it was weird that she had inconsistent gender pronouns. Just use gender neutral. We can use that in the English language.
I actually feel like most of the time it's because they don't get pronouns at all. They just use their names.
Yeah.
Like, when does Tai ever go, like, about Agumon, he did this? It's, Agumon did this.
Yeah.
Agumon did that. Agumon's over there.
So they just got confused and picked a pronoun from the bottle.
Agumon is his pronoun.
Yeah.
Agumon's self.
And then my final complaint about the dub.
Yeah.
And this one...
Is it that it has Digimon in it and Digimon's bad?
No.
That was mine.
Okay, so Mako and TK are talking, and Mako says, "Wait, you're Matt's brother, but you have a different last name." And he says, "Oh yeah, my parents got divorced, which that is fine, that is true, and my mother remarried, so that's why I have a different name."
So you I know why you're upset.
No, it isn't why
I
you think.
know.
No, it isn't why you think. He had a single mum in Adventure and still had the same last name as he has now.
Well, I guess the implication is thus that she was not single, you just never saw the dad, like you never saw Ties.
No, but I think it's said at one point that both their parents are single and they've just recently divorced, I think.
I don't know when it ever said that.
No.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
No, but Takeshi is her maiden name. It has said that in actual texts.
I'm
of
sure it
Digimon.
has. I mean, they're not in the show.
She is not married. She might be in a Tri, and TK's name would reflect that if he took his stepfather's last name. But the point is, he still has the same last name in Adventure where she was single.
You know, I think the writing team needs a weirdo like you on board who's got the encyclopedic knowledge of all the weird minutiae of the show.
Yeah,
So they don't screw up like this.
Can the dub writers hire me? That'd be great. If I could be that'd be great.
What, you'd fly out to America for a full month to help them write the show?
100%.
And then you get back and you wouldn't have your job anymore? Because why would they hold it for you for a month?
No, I totally. Well, no, I get 6 weeks of annual leave a year.
You get 6?
Yeah,
You get 4?
I get 6.
Sick. I actually don't know how many.
I get 30 days, which is 6 weeks.
No, it's not. Wait, you get... Okay.
Also, it's
It
cumulative.
depends if it's 30 business days.
It's 30 business days.
All right, then. That's cool.
I get 6 weeks. So I could just, please, dub writers, if you listen to this, hire me, please. I'm great. I know everything about Digimon. I have no life and I have a problem and I'll spend lots of money on your things even if you hire me.
I should look into how much annual leave I get.
Yeah.
Because,
Also, it's cumulative and you've barely touched it.
that's true. At this stage, I have like 2 weeks saved up. Also, I hope we're gonna get like at least one letter about this because I feel like I've heard a bunch of like Americans and stuff
They don't get sick leave.
complain about how like leave in
They
Australia
don't
is
get
super
sick
weird.
leave. We get 10 days sick leave a year. 10 business days.
It's cool.
It's great.
It's a good time. You need it too because
Yeah, because for some reason...
you never get sick until this year.
Oh, no, it's because I'm overworking myself because I'm working really hard at work and I'm working...
Whose fault is that?
And I release 10 podcast episodes a month.
I get the opposite where like I do my work and whatever and I'm like, I don't think it's going very fast. Maybe I should go faster. And I talk to my boss about where I'm at and he goes, yeah, well, you can probably take another day on this. And I'm like, okay, sure. I was going to finish it today, but I guess I'll spend more time on it tomorrow.
Anyway, so besides me pleading for someone to hire me as to work on Digimon, which to be honest, like that's the dream.
It's not.
No, it's okay. It's my dream.
Wow, that's a crap
To
dream.
work on Digimon, that would be great. Even like I would love to be a voice actor.
What if you got like
I think-
horrendously crushed under the bureaucracy of it and none of your
care.
ideas got in?
I don't care.
Really?
I would be working on it. Just
What if the show was really bad while you were working on it?
I'm so passionate about it.
What if you were the reason Frontier was so crap?
I take that.
Really?
I take it.
Really?
Because some people enjoyed Frontier.
You'd
I
be able to
enjoyed
live
Frontier.
with me like giving you crap for that forever?
Yes.
Wow.
But I feel like I'd love to be a voice actor, but I feel like my accent's too Australian.
That's all right. You can be the Digi Destiny Dingo of
I
Australia.
can be British because apparently Americans can't tell the difference.
It's true. They really can't.
Because whenever I've gone there, they go, "You're British." I'm like, "No, I'm not.
I mean-
No, I'm not in the slightest."
Once upon a time, I mean, you picked up more of an act. Were you drunk when you're talking to them? Because you get British when you're drunk.
No, no, because they thought my dad was English, and he's Aussie.
He's Ozzaz.
He's Oz.
Mate.
Mate. But,
That's one of my favourite Australianisms, is just the mate.
okay, we're done for the Australian portion of the podcast. But yeah, so
I'm sorry, but I'm the Digi Destiny Dingo of Australia.
So, thoughts on the dub overall and thoughts on voices, unless you had any complaints about the dub besides, and you can't just say it was Digimon.
Let me tell you something about the voices. You know how you said that Mimi puts in a lot of effort to sound different?
Because it's the same voice actor.
So here's the thing. At
Yeah.
50% higher speed, she sounds exactly like she used to because it pitches it up.
Okay.
And she sounds exactly like she used to, except slightly faster.
Okay, that's fair. That's
So
fair.
it's a good little effect.
Yeah, because when I listened to it, like, oh no, they got rid of her voice actor, but when I checked, I'm like, oh no, it's the same voice actor. She has a great voice. She can do it for so many things. Felice Sampler, I think is her name, but I'm probably terrible in messing that up somewhere because she was Cody in 02.
Yeah.
You can't recognize those two voices. They're so different.
I think it's, yeah, I mean, there's lots of voice actors that are sort of like that. That's kind of the job. I think that the percentage of little boy characters that are actually female voice actors is hilarious. Because
It's the same in Japan, though.
this is partly,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, how many shonen characters are actually Japanese grandmas?
That's great. If I was a Japanese grandma, I think I'd want to be a voice actor.
There's like a story that because there's been a few Japanese grandmas who have been Goku. There's some story about how like she was on a bus and there was some like rude kids on the bus and she started yelling at them in Goku's voice and they all freaked out.
That's great. Like imagine saying, "Oh, what does your grandma do?" Oh yeah,
And he's like, "Grandma, what do you do?" Ah!
like, "Oh, I sit at home and I knit, sweetie, and then in my spare time, I voice Goku,
And I kill Frieza.
and I haven't even kissed my wife despite having 2 children."
Ooh, yeah.
So, I don't know, I found that the dub overall, despite me having a lot of complaints and issues and disappointments and stuff, was that the dub, I think, was actually more fun than the original.
That's always the thing, right? Because it seems to me clear that the dub writers sometimes just get bored and like, we'll put in a joke here. We'll do a bit here. Oh, it's Nigerian prince scam. Fine, whatever.
That was great.
They don't... I think what interests me the most is that it's not one-to-one. Because they leave the Japanese text on the screens and most things are pretty much as they are.
They don't edit any video.
They don't edit... Yeah. So why, at this point, when you
Yeah.
know that you're not converting it for an audience anymore, you're not converting it for children, you're not converting it to be marketable in the US, because you don't need to, why not just use the subtitles as a script? Because they're not... And it's not like they're out there trying to improve it, because you've identified elements where they've actually made it worse. So why not just... Why put in the extra effort to essentially rewrite the whole thing to only make small changes?
Also, they left in a Japanese pun, which absolutely makes no sense
What was
at
it?
all. It's the early bird sits on the worm, which is a fine line, but then because they didn't edit any video, they left in the clip of Mimi sitting on a tatami mat and looking confused and the Japanese writing all around because it's a Japanese pun where I think it's got the similar
Is
similar
tatami
sounding
and worm
word.
similar?
I think so. Japanese bad. Don't remember. I'm pretty sure there was a note explaining it.
Because the implication to me when I was watching it this time, because I guess I'd forgotten, is that the worm was just under there somewhere.
Well, I guess you could say that, but the fact that I don't know, I feel like they should have explained that scene because otherwise just kind of like a, what?
How funny would it be if it cut to completely fresh animation that was only for this English version and it was easy pointing at a blackboard? So you see, in Japanese, this, like it's the word for tatami is very similar to the word for worm, which is blah, 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 blah.
But I'm pretty sure, for memory, the Japanese that's on the screen actually explains it because they translated that in on Crunchyroll when we watched it, and that explained the joke.
Totally possible.
But they didn't caption it at all, and I found that strange. I don't know, it's just a weird thing I noticed. I'm just like, okay, you're adding all these things like spa-lended and spa-amazing. Why not put the Tommy Mat joke?
And also, DanDan is still there, but it's not allowed to be Japanese until it is.
Like, make it Nya or something, because they're cats.
That would have been alright. That wouldn't have been bad. It would have been quite funny.
But I feel like you would have made fun of me.
I would have.
You would have.
Yeah. So, which was your favorite, like, was chapter 1 better or was chapter 2 better?
Chapter 2 is better. Oh my god.
Chapter 2 was better. Oh my god, yeah.
My goodness.
My goodness, yeah.
I'm gonna die. Why'd I even bring that up?
Why'd you bring that up? Yeah.
Nya was
I
a mistake.
Yeah. Watashi thinks you should have thought that one through.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Why do I even tell these stories? Why did I bring this up? I brought this on myself. I reminded you. You wouldn't have just... On Earth 2, I'm recording this podcast right now, and I haven't told you the story.
That's the only divergence in the timeline.
Earth 2 is a happier place. Earth 2 where I haven't embarrassed
Sitting there in a
myself.
classroom, and you like, and you're putting your hand up, and you've got it in like little paw, and you're like, and the teacher's like,
I didn't tell you that part 2, did I?
I made that one up.
Oh. Earth 3 is a good place.
And the teacher's like, May, and you're like, it's Mania.
I hate you so
And she's
much.
like, Mania. Okay, Watashi has the answer.
I hate you so much. Why am I like
This is the brightest timeline. Except for the elections in November, obviously. So it's like it's the brightest version of the darkest timeline.
Earth 2 is a better place right now.
I thought Earth 3 was the better place.
Yeah, Earth 3 was where I didn't continue. No.
It's a yeah. Over here, yeah. Pick me. And everyone's too embarrassed to put their hand up now and they're just looking at you.
I'm a functioning adult now. To be fair, people picked on me and I beat them up. So at least there's
You
that.
just scratch them like, I'm a cat.
Oh, no.
I'm a cat. I'm an asshole and I'm a cat.
Oh, no, I'd suplex them because they were tiny. They at
Because
this
you were
point...
the growth spurt first, right?
Yeah, because they hadn't hit their growth spurt yet. And I was
Nice.
just like, whoop!
Berry to berry super X.
I can do... This is the only time I'll ever be able to suplex a man. Here we go. Whoop!
What is... I forget. I feel that in Japanese there's a specific word for suplex. Like they have a...
Suplex? I have no idea.
Like they... Dragon... Is this just super X?
I think it probably is. Anyway, back to the actual podcast. Are we done the segment where we make fun of May?
Are we done in the segment where we talk about Digimon?
No.
Then we're never done making fun of May.
Oh. So, again, I personally don't think that Daigo voice fits him. It's too soft. It just feels like he is meant to be like this fun-loving dude and like kind of a bit fun, and he's got like a kind of like a boring voice.
Tri Abridged has actually ruined this for me, and I can only like it only
Me
feels
too.
right if he's like,
But he
damn
almost
these kids.
he almost is like that
I hate
though.
them so much.
His voice is not that low. The thing is, I'm pretty sure the first Tri Abridged came out before the dub did.
No, but every moment that he's happy, I feel weird. Whenever he's like, remember when we went to the spa? Yeah, we had a backstory too. I'm just like, I want to be like, what a delightful day for everyone but me. I'm basically Eeyore.
I get that. It's also
This
critical.
damn kids stole my donuts. Here are my diversion donuts.
Also-
Save my real ones.
Like, I have a lot of nostalgia for Joshua Seth's voice being Thai, but I still feel like he shouldn't be sounding like this. Like, his voice should be deeper, but it still sounds like it did when he was 10, and it's just really weird. I feel like his voice would have dropped by now, right? Izzy's has. And the fact is that Izzy's voice actress is very, very talented. She's also in South Park. I believe she's Sheila Browswatsky.
How old are they now?
15. No, 17.
Oh, okay, so for sure. I guess, and at that point, you just have to say,
He's 15,
it's nostalgia,
02.
you leave me alone.
But you don't have nostalgia for this.
No, I mean, not me. I mean, you leave nostalgia Seth alone. I'm just doing the thing.
I know, but the thing is, I feel like Izzy's voice actress has actually deepened her voice a little bit to sound like he is going through
Mimi's?
puberty. Izzy's.
Okay, sure.
Because Izzy's got the same voice actress.
Okay.
But no, she's in South Park, and it's just really weird.
Oh, okay, because the voice actress is a woman.
She's
right?
she's Kyle's mum.
Okay. Izzy's voice actress is a big fat.
Yes, the word you already said that I have to make a note that I have to
I
believe.
did see you doing that. I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say naughty words in this
No, I'm gonna keep
not
doing
explicit
it. I'm gonna
podcast because I'll
keep doing
die.
that.
As voices I do like, I love Mako's voice, and I love Meicumon's voice.
I just don't think about the voices, honestly.
See, I do because I'm like, well, what else do we have to talk about besides the changes? Oh, the voices.
We can just stop.
No, I'm never stopping.
Oh, then can I just leave?
No.
Oh, well.
Mako's voice
just
really
die.
suits her because like
Guess I'll
she's
die.
like nervous and shy, and it's kind of cute. And I really like Mako. Do you like Mako?
She's fine. I think my problem with Mako is not that anything to do with her character, right? It's that she seems to me to be clearly a vehicle to get Meikumon into the story. So much so that they have the same name. Because, let's be real, everyone has these like really real character moments, and like Ty's got his PTSD, and Mimi's being confronted with what a terrible person she is, and Joe is trying to become a real person, and then like Mako's a bit of a nerdy cartoon, and I'm like, okay, I know that people complain that she's like out of place because she's not original, but she feels more like she should be in Adventure than she feels like she should be in Tri, I guess.
I know, I can understand that.
And then she should have like had a bunch of development, and then she should end up here as an adult.
Also, have you noticed that they've given her kind of like this vocal thing that she does in the dub?
Dun dun.
No. She says things like, bug spray bugs me. The desserts are deserting us. No pie, goodbye.
I have not noticed that.
I know, she does it a lot. And there are more examples besides the ones that I just gave.
Are you sure that's not just the English dub for everyone?
No, it's
Spa Amazing.
No, it's specifically her.
Specifically?
It's specifically her.
I got there first.
Yeah, my mouth was already trying to do it, but it was already still conveying the thought. Also, Mekumon calls Mako in the dub, and not May, which is what she calls her through the whole thing in the original. You know, May. That's all she says in the original, basically. But in the dub, it's like she doesn't call her May as much. She just calls her Mako.
You would have loved that.
What?
This Digimon being like, May, so you can close your eyes and think, I'm a Digidestin now too. It could be me.
I too am a Digidestin.
And also, it doesn't have to be a voice like, May. It's not a sheep.
Meh. Yeah, I can stand near a sheep like, you are my Digimon partner.
Just close your eyes and wish to be somewhere else.
That's the dream. Hang out with some sheep. And of course, because it's a dub, they make lots of jokes and puns, which makes sense because the puns are always done by the dub. Tentomon was a delight, of course, because they did what they've always done in Adventure. It was like, ooh, look, a mouth that doesn't move when he speaks.
We can make him say anything.
So Tentomon talks so much more, and it's so great because I don't think he actually would speak that much in the original version.
Maybe not. I'm trying to remember what was going on in that scene where he's talking to Gomamon when they're just alone and he's got like food
I have
and
notes
stuff.
on that. We'll get to that in a bit.
Okay, because I didn't remember. He's like laying some stuff out about like whatever the not rules, but like the situation. And there's something up with the animation where Gomamon's got these big wide eyes, like he's shocked at what's happening.
He's eating the food.
No, he's not moving. His animation is totally still. He's just like, whoa. Oh no. But then he's like happy in the next bit. So you can tell he's just like, it was just the idle animation they had for him.
Yeah, okay. And then the last like miscellaneous thing I noticed was that there are a lot of double meanings in this and Mekumon getting confused because she's new to all this. I noticed that was happening a lot and that was kind of cute. As I said, it wasn't a terrible dub. So onto the bits and pieces and translation lines, which I'm guessing Jay has no notes on, so he will just be commenting on my changes.
Uh-huh.
So first of all, at the start of the movie, Palmon asks if Agumon is eating, and then Agumon says, "You're supposed to stop."
Agumon's really hungry.
Yeah, and he's you. The first bit of the movie is very you, because Mako keeps on saying, 5 more minutes. Which, by the way, she wasn't as lazy in the original version.
She's a cat. She's meant to be super
Mako,
lazy.
the human.
She's basically a cat.
No.
She speaks in the cat speak.
Also, Ty says it's going to be less than a jiffy, which is a jiffette.
Yeah.
Do Americans even say jiffy? I thought they didn't. Do they?
No, it is. It's a pop culture thing. Also,
Okay.
They're not Americans. They're Japanese.
I meant the dub.
Japanese people don't say it.
The onsen's called a spa, but I don't know why they didn't just call it an onsen or a bathhouse.
Because it is a spa.
Oh no, it's
That's what it is.
It's a bathhouse.
It's a spa.
In
Bathhouse.
Whenever onsens or bathhouses are shown in anime and there's a dub of it, it's always called a bathhouse. I'm pretty sure.
Fine.
I
But
know,
this isn't a subtitles.
But it was made up for it with the puns that Palmon and Mimi delivered with spa-lended and spa-mazing.
Those are awful.
It was worth it.
There's nothing spa-lended about either of those.
No, it's spatial.
What?
It's special to me. It's spatial.
Oh, that was pretty lame.
It's spatial episode 26, talking about the tri-dub. There's a line where they're talking about how Joe isn't coming along, and then Mimi says, "All work and no spa makes Joe a dull boy." I don't know. I like this line. I love everything that Mimi says. Can I just put down everything that Mimi says?
Am I thinking of... It must be a bridge thing, because I'm thinking of the line that goes like, well, it wouldn't be a Digimon movie if Joe was here.
I feel like that's a joke that we've made.
I feel like that was said and I watched it last night, but it couldn't have been because I didn't watch the abridged.
Yeah, because they're going to break the fourth wall so aggressively and say, hey, Joe's not here because it's a Digimon movie.
It really felt like that's what happened.
That's beating down the fourth
I feel
wall.
really convinced that happened.
That was definitely in the Bridge series because that's a joke that everyone has ever made because, hey, guess what? It's a Digimon movie, Joe's not here, and Mimi's probably not here either, and there's a good chance Hikari's at a party. Yeah. Mimi's always traveling.
Was it the joke that you said at the start of this show when you were doing the synopsis?
Yeah.
Is that where I got that?
Yeah, because it couldn't be, it's so funny, it couldn't be something I said.
That's probably about right.
Yeah. I'm sad now.
Earth 4 is the bright one now.
All the Digimon are trying to work out if they can be stuffed animals, and Agumon says, "Stuffed? But I'm hungry." It's fantastic because in the original there are no jokes about Agumon being hungry all the time.
You just love that.
That was introduced in the 3rd chapter. The dub is really getting in early, and I love it. I love my hungry little dinosaur man. And I think that it's implied that Mimi planned this entire trip, because I'm pretty sure she just says outright that she planned this entire trip, and I don't think that was the case in the original version.
I don't remember, but it would make sense for Mimi to have done it because she's in love with Mako, as we've all established, by which I mean you established, and I just agree.
No, she's just in love with all the girls.
No, but Mako's the one Mako's the reason that they're going to it, so it's specific.
She's infatuated with her because she's the new one. That's my nerd!
That's my nerd! I feel a nerd hug coming on!
I really, really love her so much in the Abridged. I just love Mimi. I love Mimi so much. She's so good. She's too good for this world. So when they're talking about how Mei Mei sounds like a cute little sheep name, as TK says, Hikari says, "Look out, TK has digivolved to Flirtmon."
That was pretty rough.
That was just like, oh no.
I'm like, that. I don't know if they've ever made a joke like that before.
No.
Where they're like, oh yeah, add Mon to the end of stuff.
No, no, they might have in early Adventure, but only in the dub.
Maybe.
Only ever in the dub. They only make jokes in the dub.
Digimon's a really straightforward, boring show, isn't it? Until you add English in.
Well, I don't know. I like both, but I feel like the English dub does sometimes bring along some puns to the party. Sora is the mum, and she calls up Joe, and when she's talking to him in the dub, she says, "Don't worry about us. I mean, there's probably something else you can worry about if you really want." Which I'm like, wow, Sora.
Like your entrance exams, which apparently you suck at.
Yeah. And then when Mimi's unwrapping the towel, she says, "I'll help you get changed." And you're meant to say "we" instead of "no." You're meant to say "no, stop."
And then immediately Pyomon's like, "Wee."
And I don't know, I feel like it's because that sort of trope doesn't exist in American media of that moe sort of like, "No, stop," because it would come across as a bit creepy, so of course they changed it.
It would, absolutely. You're meant to say, "No, I hate this, make it, no, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to die."
So obviously, yeah, they changed it to the more like, oh, Mimi's having fun, and they're meant to say "we" because they're having fun. And it's not the, "No, don't take my clothes off me." It's
super weird.
It's actually a good change because the trope doesn't really carry across as well into Western
that's what
culture.
localization's for.
Yeah. So when the Digimon are teaching Mekumon to swim, there's a line where I just found it was really funny for some reason. One of them says, "The whole not sinking thing is important."
It's Tailmon who says that.
I'm glad that you paid enough attention, Jay, without taking notes.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, the cat is instructing the other cat of how to not die in water.
Yeah, also that was funny, yeah. I didn't actually get the connection. Yeah, cats usually don't really like swimming.
I thought you would know all about that, yeah?
Die. Also, I couldn't find this in the original, but did they call Himekawa Himi in the original?
I don't know who that is.
Himekawa is Maki, government lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the
I
dub,
don't remember their names ever.
Daigo keeps on calling her Himi as like a nickname.
Yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't do that. Like, then isn't the version of nicknames in the original usually just not adding "son" at the end of stuff?
Well, without honorifics, it is considered.
Is that basically a nickname?
No, you have to be really close with them.
Exactly, that's what nicknames are for.
No, you just you would grab the first syllable and add "chan" to the end.
Okay, there's that too.
Like Mimi might be Mi-chan.
Yeah, they didn't call Himekawa Hichan, so...
No.
I think they probably just called her Himekawa the whole time.
Because that sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, but Himekawa sounds like Princess Kawa.
Yeah, well, that's what... Princess River.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably not the kanji.
Princess River.
Then when...
Don't wave me off like that. That was nice.
Then when they're looking for their Digimon partners...
I know, it was crap.
When they're looking for their Digimon partners, they are not able to find them, so they go into the men's room. And before they step in, and I don't know why, but Mimi says, "I wonder if they have snacks in the men's room," because that's what's important. Snacks.
Well, they've got all those vending machines in the female restrooms. So.
I know, but I don't know why. It felt like a weird addition. So she starts singing the song about distraction, and as you mentioned before, it's not the song that she used to wake up Shogun Gekomon. It should have been. It's not. I mentioned this before, but I feel like this was a huge missed opportunity because this is what I thought. I would have bet money on this is what they were doing because that is smart. That is a nice use of translating it from what she was singing in the original to what she's singing now because it's the song that she sang in place of I Wish.
And I'll take that bet. And I'll win.
Yeah.
Because I already did.
Because you already know that. I mean,
Right, $5, hand it over.
I mean, I was surprised. It was this song about being a distraction instead. And then, of course, the error which we mentioned earlier is that when Taichi sees them and he says, in the original, hey, what are you guys doing in here? In the dub, it's, sis, what are you doing in here? Despite Hikari has just fallen over and Takuru has caught her off screen.
I laughed because I had totally forgotten about this bit where Mako goes, don't worry, Tai, my glasses are super fogged up. I can't see anything. Takes her glasses off, looks straight down at his junk.
Well, he's wearing a towel.
He's still sort of pensive, like, don't look.
The best thing is in the dub, how they put in a sound that she makes, which is, huh? I don't know why, it's a funny sound. So when they leave, we have the same happy or unhappy scene when Daigo asks Maki if she thinks that they're happy or unhappy. And that's basically left in word for word, that's fine. Then when we see them back at school and Mimi's in class and she's just, in the dub, they add on a bit of an extra line, which is, I'll volunteer for more if you need me to. And it's just so sweet and so pure. And she does want to help out. And it really highlights the fact that she's not just doing this because, you know, she wants to have control over something. She's doing it because she actually wants to help.
Would you describe her as so pure?
Yeah, very pure. The most purity. I love her so much. She's just so great. Then when she's designing costumes and then she's having lunch with Mako, there's a bit where they're going out to eat and Palmon and Makomon are in costume. It's very cute. And then they say, oh, but what are these costumes for? Costumes for lunch. Costumes for lunch, not to eat. I found that was a cute little line. It's a lot, and there's a lot of double meanings in this dub. They just sort of added in and
double meanings.
Yeah, double meanings.
Double meanings.
And Makomon just does not get double meanings. She's just like, what?
She's
it's great.
Stupid. But Digimon is stupid, so of course.
So as we mentioned earlier, the early bird sits on the worm is left in, including the clip of Mimi on a tatami mat, and there being no sense to that. I feel like they could have fixed that. I know it's weird. So when Mako shows the design of the costume, Mimi says that Mako is a genius and not a boring maths genius, but a fashion genius.
Not one of those crap geniuses. Man, the dub is bad. So is Digimon.
Mimi and Mako run off to fight Ogumon, and then we have a scene where, because Mimi is contacting the other Chosen, Joe is looking through his texts, but because they're all in Japanese,
he has to read them all out.
Yeah, they actually have to dub him reading them out.
Yeah, I think they do the same thing with Izzy later.
Yeah, which I guess is fine if you don't want to remove the characters, which is something that we've been mentioning happens a lot in Digimon Savers, is they remove every instance of Japanese, they just remove.
They used to do it in Adventure as well.
No, they didn't. We've already gone through this.
With screens and stuff like this, they used to.
The Digicode, yes, Jay. What's this language? It's Digicode. No, they didn't always do it in Adventure. Actually, Adventure left in a lot. Frontier did it a lot, and I think Tamers did it too, but it didn't really... Like, they didn't remove all instance of it. Savers is removing any bit of Japanese.
Okay, so it's not 100%, but I mean, like, if you look at Izzy's computer and he's sending an email, like, that's English.
Oh, yeah, it would be, yes.
And there were signs that they replaced with English.
Yeah, but it's not 100% all of them. In Savers, it's every instance. But in this, they didn't change it, which is fine because they're in Japan. They know Japanese. It's fine. But I feel like it is good that they still explained what they were saying by having Joe, or in the other case, Izzy, read them out, because we still need to know what's going on.
I really wish R. Pulver had asked Jeff Nimoy the question I've always wanted to know, which is how far in advance do you know what's going to happen when you're making these scripts?
Oh, that would be nice to know.
Because the question is, I really felt like it was really begrudging when in Adventure they finally had to be like, oh yeah, we're Japanese, we're from Japan.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't want to. And then they had to because they're looking at the thing, it's Japan, and in the subtitles they're like, oh, that's our home, because of course we're Japanese, and we mentioned in episode 1.
Mm. And
they never mentioned it until then, and it was Heightened View Terrace, and I always felt that was the case.
Yeah.
And even here, I'm just like, oh, they really don't want to say it, huh?
Yeah. Then after the fight with Ogumon, the scene where Izzy tells Mimi off, in the dub, he uses a lot of big words, and he's also a lot ruder. In the original, he just says how he understands how Mimi acted out of good intentions, but it's a delicate situation. In the dub, he's just yelling at her, and isn't trying to be understanding in the slightest. And then there's a scene later on when they're talking about the side effect of the infection. Agumon has a great line, which is, me being scared is a side effect.
I guess it technically is. I didn't catch... I wouldn't laugh at that as a joke, but...
Sometimes I just wrote down a lot of lines that were just said, and most of the time they were just Agumon. They're just random lines that Agumon said throughout my notes.
That's, you know what, things Agumon said, that's a Twitter you could have.
Yeah, it's just all about food.
And then sometimes it's about friendship and
Being an uncle.
giant black war machines that are not deserving of friendship.
Yeah.
God, I hate him so much.
As we mentioned before, Chikochu is changed to narcissist, which is fine.
It's actually really accurate. That's a good one.
When Goemon runs away from home and shows up at Koshiro's office, Tentomon says they don't have enough room for Goemon because there's too much food. And then he asks him if he can help. And there's added stuff about how much snacks they have, and he also says he doesn't have a mouth.
Okay, so
No, he doesn't say he doesn't have a mouth. He's able to say all this because he doesn't have a mouth.
I'm pretty sure what I was remembering was that while he's explaining we have way too much food, Goemon's face is like, his eyes are all wide, like he's frightened by how much food there is. And he's like, no, of course I'll help, as long as you hide me from Joe.
Then Izzy gets the message in Digimoji, which of course is called Digicode in the dub, which is fine. They always called it Digicode, so it'd be weird if they called it otherwise, right?
I guess, but you could just call it it's not Japanese, was it?
It's Japanese.
No, it was the prophecy one. So that
Yeah.
would be Digicode. Digimoji.
It was Digimoji in the original.
Boo. Sorry, I mean, like, I know that was invented like way earlier, but it just emojis make me not hate. I don't like the word, like the suffix moji.
Another important line is that Agumon is told not to eat the couch cushions.
Doesn't he try?
Yes.
Is there like a whole bit about this?
Yeah, I think he says they didn't taste very good. I think Gabumon also wants to have a go because he's a dog and dogs eat cushions.
Has the competition happened yet?
No.
Okay, because I love that.
It is a good scene, but we'll
What
get
do you
to
mean
that.
Gabumon didn't win?
Izzy mentions that the Digimon shouldn't stare and judge him, and Tentomon tells Izzy to let Goemon be there for a while, and he also adds that he wants jelly donuts because, of course, his mouth doesn't move.
He loves the donuts.
In the original, Tentomon just says Koshiro, hey, let Goemon be. I don't know, there's a lot of added lines because, as I said, when they're all staring at Izzy, there's just silence. And because we're not looking at Izzy, Izzy's saying, hey, don't just stare at me.
Look, they're never allowed to shut up. They're paid by the word.
Wow, I would never shut up if I was in this dub. Then, at the festival, Maki refers to Ken by his full name in the original. In the dub, he just says, is that Ken?
I can't get over it. Does the 02 kids exist or not?
No, they're dead.
Oh, I'm so happy they're dead. I just want everyone to acknowledge it. So I get the emotional, I get to have the acceptance of it as a fact.
When Izzy freaks out about the photos that Maki sent of Mimi to him, Tentomon asks him if the Nigerian prince wrote him back. And then Tentomon says that he has learned to sweat now.
I just thought of something that I don't think I've even mentioned before.
What?
It's not even that they don't even talk about the kids, right?
Yeah?
You'd think that their first thoughts would be, there's something really bad happening with Digimon. Let's call all the people we know who have Digimon.
Unless they've been disappeared, unless they disappeared and have been missing for a couple of years.
Okay, but then they would have said that when they saw Ken.
Yes.
When they see Ken, they act as though, like, oh, it's just Ken. Doesn't Davis go to the same school as them?
Yes, he would have, yes.
Oh my god, this show... The writers hate 02 as much as I do. They knew it was a mistake.
I liked 02 once.
It's so bad. It's so awful. Even the writers hate it. Sorry, I can't help it.
So, of course, this line about sweating is because Tentomon mentioned that he can't sweat earlier. And I feel like I was wondering why he was talking about sweating, and then I guess it was just to lead up to this joke. But I feel like the funniest part was the Nigerian prince part, because it's a reference to the Nigerian prince scams that were going around, like, in 2005.
He should have been like, is the Nigerian prince coming in? No, I'm a lot further than that. I've started crypto locking all of America.
Oh my gosh.
It's your favourite thing.
He's the one who invented crypto locking.
Could be.
The thing is, and I don't know, I feel like Izzy is too smart to fall for a Nigerian prince scam.
Yeah, but also he's been on the internet forever. Maybe it's something that, like, happened when he was, like, 12.
Maybe he is a Nigerian prince. Maybe he came up with that.
Yeah.
And Tentomon doesn't know.
Maybe.
He's just seen the emails.
Maybe Tentomon got scammed.
Maybe Tentomon's a Nigerian prince.
Oh, maybe Tentomon's the brains behind the whole operation.
And then Agumon has a line where he says the couch cushions don't look tasty. I'm like, I thought you wanted to eat them. Gabumon wants to eat them, definitely, though.
He's hungry.
When has Izzy's run off and they're all looking at Leomon, in the dub, Tentomon makes lion and cat puns at Leomon instead of silence when he's trying to convince him to take all the Digimon to the festival. In the original, they're just staring at him and there's silence. It's a funny scene in the dub. I love the dub. So then then there's your favorite part, the costume contest, and that's my next note. And it's when Meikumon gets called a she and confuses me.
I'm talking about where Megamon
Gabumon?
wins, and then
Yeah.
Matt's super offended. What do you mean it wasn't Gabumon?
That is probably one of my favorite parts in all of Digimon. I don't know, it's just like that amount of support to support your partner.
It's super random too, because it's not like in his character generally to be like, oh, my partner's the cute one.
Yeah.
He's got a lizard who wears clothes all the time because he's embarrassed to be naked.
I mean,
Who stands next to his best friend, the naked lizard.
well, ugly cute is the theme, and I guess because maybe he's a lizard, he would be ugly. I don't know.
You'd think that Gabumon... You should have it... There should always be a back and forth between Agumon and Gabumon, where Gabumon's like, put some clothes on! It's really weird!
Yeah, no, I guess. So then later on, it's the part where Ken shows up, and this is just a bit we've talked before, which was him again. What's his deal?
That guy.
And as I mentioned, it has a different tone to what there was in the original, which was him. Why? Because there's just this difference of tone that is, he seems angry in the dub, and in the original, he's shocked to see him, which he should be. Like, if he has disappeared, this should be his reaction. But to be angry, again, I just feel like it's like nothing happened between now and the first couple of episodes of 02.
02 just never happened, and like, whoever's watching Tri, you didn't watch... No, you know what it is? I know what it is. This show is not just built for people who like Digimon, okay?
Yep.
It is built specifically for the people who watched all of Adventure and loved it. And then 02 began. And then about 10 episodes in, they realized this is not about the kids that I care about, and they dropped it. And that is the demographic. For the people who saw all of Adventure and then 10 episodes of 02, and that's it.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people did watch that, but I feel like the majority of people carried on through all of 02, though.
I doubt that. I don't know if you could say majority.
So that's all my bits and pieces about like the things that happened. I'm glad that Jay was present for the discussion.
I was around.
Yeah, you were around. As I said, you were present.
I was in the room.
Yeah. So just overall discussion on the dub. I feel like there were a lot of mistakes in the dubs. So it ranges from Ty calling Sora sis, basically, and saying, "What are you doing here, sis?" Even though Sora's the one on the screen at the moment.
Or acting as though, that his sister is in the room.
Yeah.
Just because it cuts to her in the next shot.
And TK saying that his mother remarried and he has his stepdad's last name.
Wouldn't it be? Hold on.
But he didn't need to say those lines. He could have just said the line of, my mother and father got divorced, because that explains it too.
Well, he also has to say then he'll have to change his name to his mother's maiden name.
Yeah, but that's already implied. Like, oh, my parents got divorced, and I live with my mother. So he has his mother's my mother's last name. That is fine.
You have to apply to get that changed. You have to make a conscious decision.
Or maybe she never got her last name changed. My
That
mom
would
didn't.
I think it would have been funny because you would have been supportive of the change if parents got divorced, mom remarried, but he took her name.
Yeah.
And like, okay, and he's like, oh, and then I took my mom's name. Anyway, so the only difference is the marriage happened, but it didn't actually change anything.
But she hasn't remarried. I don't know. I feel like that was a weird thing.
Clearly she has. TK said so. Who's the more expert in his family, you
and
or
also
him?
the whole DanDan thing.
Oh, it's bad. It's super awkward too.
It doesn't sit right with me that they've changed to Meikumon speak, but that's one thing. The other thing is to say TK's grandma, I guess, is a Meikumon.
Just make Meikumon like French or something. Just make her say like... Just make her Spanish and be like, gracias. And that's it. And then they're like, what? And she's like, oh, sorry, that's Spanish, guys. And that's it. Just have it be a different
language. But what if
language.
they still left in TK's line about his grandma also saying DanDan?
My grandma spent time in Spain. She says it sometimes. I've heard that.
But then they made the reference to our war game where Taichi says, yeah, they have no computers there. And Yamato's just like, that was so long ago, just forget about it. And he's angry.
You can still say that. Because he's only saying that in response to, oh yeah, my grandma is a person who exists and also is not dead 4 years later.
And she has no computer.
Good on her. That's what you get when you don't have Twitter.
Yes, I would like to speak to my grandchildren too.
Matt and TK, I have grandchildren by those exact names.
Okay, I'll get them. Hangs up phone. That scene was a gift.
It's strong. It's a good time.
I love our war game. So I also feel like there was a missed opportunity, and as I mentioned before, it's the whole Mimi not singing the Wake You Up song.
Yeah, but we've only gone over that 5 times.
I know, because I'm really upset by it, okay?
Alright, well just chill out, dude.
And
it's only Digimon.
I feel like the movie needed someone to comb through it to find small errors like this that mega nerds like me would point out and get upset by.
It's mega nerd.
And like, but in the end, I absolutely adore and absolutely love the puns and the jokes they put in. It was incredibly reminiscent of the first season of Adventure when they just had dumb lines just put in, and Zero Two as well, when they just put in these dumb puns and they're just lame and they're awful, but they're great. And I just feel like, I don't know, it just made me nostalgic for in the original Digimon with the dumb jokes.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
I'm just thinking about it again. If Mako has DanDan as part of her, like, the way she speaks, but it's a weird Digimon language thing, did she ever speak to anyone before she met these kids? Because one of the things about her is that she doesn't have a life. She doesn't have parents or friends or have come from anywhere.
Yeah.
But you'd think that literally every time she says this phrase, if she's not speaking to her Digimon, she would have to explain it.
Yes.
And she wouldn't be able to explain where it came from.
Yes.
There is no physical way she could have got this into her head in a way that it comes out naturally without explanation.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Plot.
Oh my god.
But also, she was
Blaming the script.
She was living there for a while.
It doesn't, no, but she doesn't matter where you live because she's speaking like this Digimon, remember? That's the justification.
Yeah, but in the original it's fine because she was living there from
That's
when
true.
she was like, she looked quite young.
This is part of the dialect.
Yeah.
Just make it be like, thanks, y'all. Like,
So, do you have any other thoughts about the dub? Did you like the dub?
it's fine.
Did you feel like it was better than the original version? Because I actually think it improved on it. I feel like Chapter 2 was okay. It was better than Chapter 1, but I feel like it was still okay. And I love the fact that Mimi was the focus, but I love the little jokes that the dub put in. But then again, there are lots of, like, far too many mistakes that I would consider in a professional thing.
My problem, I think, is that I'm too far out from having watched it the first time.
Yeah.
And this is always going to be the problem. And I'm so far out that, like, there's so no surprises. I've had time to think about everything that's wrong with it. So, sure, voices are different and they say some different stuff, but the movie as a whole is just worse now for having had time.
Yeah, okay, no, I see your point. Chapter 3 is still great, though.
Yeah, sure, I think.
I think Chapter 3 from memory is probably the best part, but I guess
We'll
we'll
see.
cover that soon when we have to recover the dub again. What I do know is that I'm really looking forward to Chapter 5. It comes out in a month.
Okay.
I'm really excited for it.
I'm looking forward to Chapter 6, if only to find out if they ever reference the 02 kid.
What if they don't?
I think that'd be really funny. Like,
I
as
feel
a
like,
point.
I feel like it would ruin Tri. Because not necessarily the whole of Tri, but the fact that they showed up in the first 5 minutes of Tri, it's one of the first things you see in Tri, and then Ken shows up in Chapter 2, and then is never, like, and then we find out he's Jedi in Chapter 3, and then never again.
I just think it would be really funny. Like, it wouldn't be good.
How much do you hate the 02 kids? Jeez.
It wouldn't be... I hate them a lot. So, like, it wouldn't be a good thing. Obviously, I want a satisfying explanation. Obviously, I want a good plot. But everything it implies about the production of the show is really funny.
Yeah.
Because it implies an active rejection of those characters. Like, we wish they didn't exist.
Yeah.
It feels that way up to now. In fact, what's really funny is the only good character was the Digimon Emperor out of, like, the whole show. And so, what comes back? Only the good bit.
Oh, I still like Miyako.
I don't know why.
I feel like it's nostalgia.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's it. That's all it is.
The fact that you don't like her, it's kind of like maybe she's not that great, but it's
Do you like
nostalgia.
the girl with pink hair who touched a computer once?
Yes.
Oh, I guess you do. Sure.
Well, actually, Mimi has pink hair, and she touched a computer in Diaboromon Strikes Back.
And you like Mimi, so what does that
I
tell
love
you?
Mimi.
She doesn't
Mimi's
have pink
so
hair,
good.
but she
Mimi,
has brown hair. She wears pink.
she had pink hair in 02.
Oh yeah, she
With the
colored
stars
it.
in her hair. They're technically
Flowers.
in the stars. They were 100%
So they
stars.
were.
Don't fight me on this.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, in
It's not
Diaboromon
worth
Strikes
it.
Back, technically she had brown hair at the point of time, but I think it's because they're trying to show that she had strawberry blonde hair, because I believe...
So you're
in
telling me that
some-
you were wrong?
No, because she does touch a computer later on.
But no, but she didn't have
earlier in
pink hair at the
02s.
time.
No, she does in 02 though, at
At
some point.
some point.
When she goes through the digiport.
So
literally
did you.
literally goes through the digiport. Through a computer. Just dives in there.
Get in there.
So, any other bits about the dub?
No, man, I'm tired.
Did you enjoy Chapter 2?
Not really. Like, it's got funny bits in it, but I didn't enjoy watching it again.
Did you enjoy watching the dub for Chapter 2 more than the dub for Chapter 1?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I think maybe it's because I watched the dub of Chapter 1 with you.
No. I locked you in my room and I went off to watch Savers.
Are you sure?
100% because I watched it with my mum.
Oh, okay. In that case... dubs, I don't know.
Neither of the dubs we have seen together.
I guess in that case, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it that much.
See, I think I enjoyed it more than chapter 1 because I just enjoy the story in general, but I feel like...
Maybe I just really didn't want to watch it this time. That also might be a bit...
It's probably because we're recording on a work night.
I really did not want to watch it.
And I'm going to go edit this podcast after this, so I'm not going to sleep tonight. Yay. So, all right, onto the outro. So we have a poll that I set up like yesterday after I got the digital copy because I was like, yay, I'm going to do a thing. So this second special. So what I asked was, who is the best partner Digimon in Digimon Adventure Tri? And we got 32 votes, which is pretty good considering I just put up the poll yesterday morning. So it's been up there for 36 hours. So that's not too bad. That's better than a lot of our regular polls get. So I will go from bottom to top. So Meikumon and Pyomon both got 0 votes. Gabumon got 1 vote. Agumon got 2 votes. Poor Agumon. Tailmon got 3 votes. You go, Tailmon. 3 for you. Patamon got 4 votes. Tentomon and Palmon drew with 5 votes each. And our winner, a new Digimon Adventure Tri champion, Gomamon with 12 votes.
Gomon's pretty great.
I voted for Palmon because I love Palmon.
I probably would have voted for Gomon, honestly.
Okay, so I guess Gomon got 13 votes?
All right, sure.
Because Jay didn't vote.
Why would I vote?
So yeah, thanks for everyone who voted for that. Sorry, it was like a sort of like very late notice, very small time frame, but I'm glad that people actually voted for it. So yeah, Gomon is the champion.
Bum.
Nobody likes Meikumon or Pyomon, apparently.
Meikumon's alright, and Pyomon's...
So, of course, we will cover Chapter 3 when it's out as soon as we can. If we get a digital copy from the American release, obviously we'll watch that if someone is nice enough to give us the digital copy. And if not, we'll cover it when it comes out in Australia. I'd prefer to cover it as soon as we possibly can because I like to release things when they're topical and people might not care about the dub by the time it comes out in Australia because for some reason Australia's got weird release schedule. It doesn't make sense. So our Redbubble is linked in the description and you can get more than just shirts and we've got a new shirt there, so check that out.
Hell yeah.
The link dump's linked in the description as well. And you can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com or you can find us on SoundCloud and message us on SoundCloud. You can follow us on TranslationMon on Twitter and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube. We have a Discord thread on With the Will and a Reddit thread in the Digimon subreddit and we'd appreciate if you would review us on any podcast listening service that you use. We also have a website with the release schedule. Check it out. You can also donate to our Patreon, which is linked on our website and in our description from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to our listener Slack chat group. But there are higher levels with things like notes and early episodes and exclusive information like updates. And sometimes I just post whatever's going on in my mind. Like, hey, I had this idea for the podcast, but Jay doesn't want to listen to me, so I'm going to post it somewhere.
Pretty much.
And yeah, so check it out if you're interested. We would really appreciate it if people would support us.
And thank you to our current Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, who has a podcast called The Moncast, which talks about Pokemon and Digimon. Stevie, who is Stevie Padmon on Tumblr and is currently taking commissions. Wu Xinglong, who you can find at twitch.tv/Wu Xinglong. Metal Mamemon. Joe, PenguinMage, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube. Jackmon, Ichbal Bamba, Hiro Olado, who is at Hiro Olado on Twitter. Jason Morosky, Ryuchi, who is Frost Magic on Archive Varone. Stephen Reeves, who is at Wilding64 on Twitter. Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Chisai, who you can follow at Chisai236 on Tumblr, Corey, Kyle, the Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can find at baguburagu.wordpress.com, Small Wolfie, who is on Tapastic as Small Wolfie and has a comic there called Eden of Melancholy, Tom, Glitchgoat, Azrael McCool, Nicholas, Gene Hackmon, Matthew, Anthony, who is at AntoClassic on Twitter, Lizmet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr, Sithobi, Ellie Vorg, who is Ellie Vorg on Tumblr, Sporky McForkinspoon, Megan, Kyliek, and Neo Boo.
You can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which can be found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Edgemon. And make sure to let us know for the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye. We are done.